If any private university would like to convert into partly or fully an e-university, what would be requirement, what would be the cost, what are the things that need to be prepared. Maybe this one will be highlighted by the speakers. And we have invited also Professor FAUZAN, the director of IIIT for East and Southeast Asia. He's also a professor in ICT, and he was one of the team to develop the before Open University was what do you call FAUZAN?
MEDIU.
MEDIU. It is a consortium of the public universities. I was in the team together with FAUZAN in MEDIU to represent the university at that time. It happened I was the chairman of the IT committee in IIUM to represent. So I know Prof. Mansor. Maybe Prof. Mansor doesn't recognize me.
I know you, Dato.
Prof. FAUZAN will be moderating this session. I think we have three great people in this. Inshallah, now it's already 9 o'clock. I think I will pass over this one to Professor FAUZAN. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wassalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakumullah khair, Professor Dr. Emeritus Dr. Jamil Osman, the Director Program for this workshop. And
recording in progress.
Before we start the session, we begin with Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah, all praise to Allah SWT, salawat and salam to our last messenger, Prophet Muhammad SAW. And good morning and welcome to the second day of the session. Alhamdulillah, now we have 143 participants around the world. We have Tripartite representative Pak Habib Chirzin from Indonesia, Indonesia representative Dr. Maulana, Tripartite representative from Myanmar, and His Excellency Ustaz Farid Hussein, Tripartite from Cambodia, Brother Yusof Yu, Tripartite representative from Hong Kong, Brother Asnawil, Tripartite representative from Philippines. MashaAllah, and Dr. Ibrahim Narong Shakit, sorry, I cannot pronounce it very well, the Tripartite representative from Thailand. So all over Southeast Asia, even around the world, we have participants from Nigeria. And yesterday, one brother from Nigeria said, I think South Africa, I have to stop because the Fajr, here, I have to pray Fajr. So all over the world, Alhamdulillah, from Kashmir, Atuf Asbab from Kashmir, and well, of course, Malaysia, Indonesia, Kriya Lamputeh from Thailand. Thank you very much, Pak Fatah Santoso from Indonesia, Dr. Zulkifli Sitoros from Indonesia. Thank you. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome, and thank you for joining us. And this is a very important event for the Muslims, academicians, and activists. And today, Alhamdulillah, we go for the second day, and the first topic for today is towards online learning. With us, Prof. ISMAWI, former Vice-Chancellor or Rector of MEDIU, Al-Madinah International Islamic University in Malaysia, and we have Professor Dr. MANSOR FADZIL, the President and Vice-Chancellor of Open University of Malaysia. Both of these institutions are the pioneers. Maybe I think Prof. Mansor, OIUM is the year 2000, and then Prof. ISMAWI, the MEDIU is later year. So the first speaker today for this morning is Professor Emeritus Dr. Ismawi ZEIN. Before I invite him, I would like to give a short introduction. Actually, you have his profile already, but I know him very well. He's my boss after Dr. Jamil. He's the CIO. Previously, before that, Dr. Jamil. And we went together to Greece, remember that WITC, the Prof. ISMAWI, and I know him very well because he's one of the it's not in the CV. Is the antique collector and very successful gardener now. All the fruits in gardens is bear the fruits. And he was chief executive at Al-Madinah International University, the former deputy rector of IUM, is director of planning. I think the campus you see behind me is bluish and a very beautiful campus. He's the one that director of the development during that time and become deputy director of development. And he was previously appointed by the government of Saudi Arabia as a member of International Panel of Architects for redevelopment of Grand Mosque. So the Grand Mosque of Masjid Al-Haram is Prof. ISMAWI is one of the panel involved in the planning, including citywide setting to produce more spacious, environmental friendly and safer environment for pilgrim and city population. So if you're sitting there in the campus, you also feel like you're sitting in the Masjid Al-Haram. Without further ado, I would like to invite Prof. ISMAWI to present. Tafadhal, Prof. ISMAWI.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. FAUZAN, for the introduction. It's a little bit too much for me. But anyway, thank you very much for inviting me to this workshop. It's really different now because Lokman, please start. You see, when I remember the last time IIIT invited me to have a workshop with our brothers in Africa, I have to go all the way to Kenya to do it. But nowadays, we can do this online, and it's so much easier. This is one of the positive aspects of this pandemic that we have now. Lokman, please. And we are now having this situation where the institution are looking at other means to communicate and to actually engage with the student. So I was, alhamdulillah, appointed as the CEO of Al-Madinah International University, which was, I think, one of the pioneers of online universities in Malaysia, definitely, but I'm quite sure it's also in the world. It was started in 2006 by Sheikh Dr. Muhammad Khalifa Al-Tamimi. He has this vision that that we should have this borderless learning, where the idea that we can actually reach the students anywhere in the world. And when I was invited to be the CEO, I think this was the case where we could even reach a student in the rural area of Kenya or Tanzania or even in Africa and in some other areas of Asia, and for that matter, the US and also the UK and Europe. So it was, I think, a very good thinking on his part, and I must give credit to him, because I think it was not many people at that time thinking along that line, and he was already thinking about it in 2006 when he started the center in Madinah city in Saudi Arabia. So we started this Al-Madinah International University in Kuala Lumpur. I started with just a room in one of the hotel in Shah Alam, one of the cities here. So you can imagine the idea that he had, and I think it was a great idea. But the problem, of course, there are problems with it because it's a new idea at that time, and even now, I think people are seeing the benefit of it. But at that time, there were a lot of concern because maybe it's because a lot of perception. So, Lokman, can you move to the next one? So, so you see, there are a few issues related to this online university. The first one is perception. Perception of people that these are in terms of the quality, and that some even say that these are certificate meals, and And then we have problem with recognition by the government or the governing bodies in the various countries. Not many people at that time are used to the or come up to the idea of online universities because everybody thought that university must have a campus, for example. So Al-Madinah International University, as an example, has to move backward rather than forward. So we move backward in order to accommodate some of the demands and the requirements of the various governing bodies. So the first move was to have the university move from that hotel to a complex in Shah Alam. But still, they were so concerned because people were saying that there was no proper campus in their term. The proper campus means the physical campus, like the picture at the back of our moderator today. You see, so that was a real issue, and so at the end of the day, some of the problem related to what universities are, like for example recognition and such thing, are also attached to this type of perception, and I think we need to somehow overcome this type of perception. Even there are some countries, for example, that had already recognized the university, then sending letters and saying that they are having doubt now because the universities do not have any so-called proper campus. Now, so that forced the university to actually spend a lot of money to build campus, or at least to rent spaces that actually look like a campus, a proper campus. So, and at the end of the day, MEDIU, for example, or Al-Madinah International University has to move, to me, backward in terms of trying to accommodate as many on-campus students as possible. And that create a lot of, that actually brought a lot of other problems, immigration problem, problems in terms of students, scholarship, and all these sort of things. Okay, then we have the problem in terms of what do you call it, standards. People were asking about how the standards are, and of course, as far as possible, you try to, or at least the university try its best to fulfill the requirement of the standard. And as we invited panels after panels of experts that are recommended by the local authority to actually look at the programs that we have and to actually make recommendations on the program. And there were a lot of also questions on the idea of students' lecturer engagement, and this we will what we had done was we actually make sure that there are monitoring devices and monitoring means for us to see that the students and the lecturers, especially online, are actually engaging with enough hours and enough quality of engagement to make sure that the process of learning is done properly. Next, Lokman. And then we have the technical and non-technical programs issues. This, I think, is very difficult because there are many technical programs that are still very conventional in their approach. They need labs, they need all sorts of physical things. And it was very difficult for us to say, okay, this should go online and whatever. But of course, on the postgraduate level, that is not as difficult as it is on the undergraduate level. The other issue is, Lokman, please. The other issue is we have teaching staff recruitment for which is qualified and quality staff. You see, the problem is when you have very limited resources, you would not be able to get the staff that are really what I would call top-notch staff in the sense that in terms of their energy. Most of them are already are good staff, are good professors, and they are, but many of them are at the retirement level, you know. So at the end of the day, we have this problem, but we do have young staff, and this young staff give their best to the university. And then there's also, in terms of recruitment, is the difference in terms of standards in different countries, and we have to find ways of how to actually ensure that. But other than that, there are requirements by the government that can help in this sense. But at the end of the day, also giving some problem to the university, because at the end there are some requirements which are very difficult for students in some areas of the world to fulfill. Like, for example, students who are learning Arabic, okay, and they are required to pass English. I think this is quite difficult, you know, because at the end of the day, I mean, their English are so basic that they will have problem in preparing themselves, and that may actually hamper their intention to join the universities or even to follow the program. Okay, next one, Lokman. Okay, next, I would like to actually, so those are the issues. Now let's see how the simple thing about how we want to move forward on this. So the first thing is we have to create by creating the online environment. Creating the online environment in universities in all areas, especially the administrative areas, is very important, because many people thought that administrative areas are probably the least difficult one, but it is the most difficult one, because the administrative areas, you have to actually engage with all students, and they will come to you at different time of the day, 24 hours a day. And as Prof. FAUZAN was mentioning just now, we are probably here at 10 o'clock, and the others are probably just having fajr over there, you know. So we have this situation of time and whatever. So, but there is these issues about how to actually manage the university online. Because if the university is to be online, then the management must also be online, because then you talk about the registration of students, the engagement of staff. You have to talk about the dealing with the students in terms of their requirements, in terms of following their progress, and all sort of things. So it's not just the student affairs, but also the finance aspect and all other aspects. Okay, next one. So then we have the student lecturers engagement. Now, for our university, MEDIU, or International Islamic Madinah University, we build a special infrastructure for that. The idea is to actually have places where the engagement between the student and lecturers are actually uninterrupted, you know, uninterrupted. And then there are areas within our campus. We build cubicles for the lecturers to engage the students. And we also have in place monitoring devices that will show the amount of time and also the quality of engagement the student has. So number three is setting the standard that will ensure quality education delivery. There is quality control. Now, this is very important in online learning, simply because this is the area where a lot of issues will come in. Like, for example, whether the students submit their assignment or not. or whether the lecturers do actually have what type of assignment the lecturers are giving to the students, and how are the marking being done, and whatever. So this quality control is very important, and at the same time, you would want to make sure that that the students, for example, in terms of exam, how do you control the exam that are actually in other part of the world from here? So these are issues that need to be addressed, and I think MEDIU or Al-Madinah International University address these areas very well. Okay, next. Number 4 is so another thing that I did during the time when I was the CEO of the university was to actually look to join programs and strategic alliance. This is the idea is actually to engage other institutions in the strategic alliance, meaning that we can have extension of our program, and we can support each other. In fact, they actually run part of our program, and we actually work with them on how to actually manage these students. And other than that, I think a strategic alliance also is about looking for good partners in your activity to ensure that the university has a good, not only relationship, but also communication, also in terms of its dealing with different group of students in different areas of the world. We had a strategic alliance, for example, in Turkey, or we set up some centers, and we work with a university in Turkey, for example, to run some of our program, and they become the center for us. And also, we had our centers in Cairo and in Al-Madinah itself. And so these are the things that we need to do to promote the effectiveness of the university. And also, I think the important is that we work with other private universities, and this is in a sense that we can have joint program. We can also have program that are actually our program run by them, or their program run by us, and whatever. So I think this is also a way for us to actually keep the sustainability of the online programs, and also the thing related to it, because then the student will find it easier to actually deal with centers that are close by to their places if they have issues that are related to their learning. Next. So we have student target groups. Marketing is one real issue for private universities. And we have a lot of companies coming to want to market the university and whatever, but there are issues also related to that. And this is an area which I think many private universities are now having not only issues but also problems. But at the same time, it is one area that will actually give a lot of input in terms of sustainability of the university if you can market yourself properly and have a good agents or even centers that can do that for you. The next one. And then we have recognition by relevant accreditation authorities. This is not only in Malaysia, but also in other countries where your students are from. We have of course tried to address this situation in various ways and in various situations. For example, some of them are sometimes diametrically opposite, because in some areas the programs are being absorbed nicely by the local authorities, but in some areas they are totally rejected because of certain issues like politics and whatever. And this is a very sensitive situation. and it can be quite stifling for a university to overcome. Other than that, there are also requirements that I think maybe even in Malaysia we need to look at. Like, for example, this requirement by our central agencies about certain type of activities that need to be paid. Like, for example, each program you have to pay a certain amount for not only the recognition of the program, but also for the monitoring of the program. And if you have 90+ program, like what Al-Madinah International University is having, you have a very heavy heavy financial burden there in the south. Yes. Okay. Next.
5 minutes.
Okay. Next one. Autonomous governance is also very important. That's why I think now it's the new one where there is separation between the governance, the board, and the teaching is also very important. Next one. Okay, role of Wakaf. I think this is a very important things in private universities. But I think it is at the same time we need to make sure the university is self-sustaining. But the Wakaf is actually really supporting. Next, Lokman. Okay, supporting research or supporting income generation activities. The first one, of course, I think is contract and research and consultancies. This can be done by the various lecturers that are around. And then we have to also have support this with some other short courses or programs that run throughout the year, the preparatory and lifelong learning programs. And then third one is the program related to commercial. This one I think is very important. Yesterday, Dr. Sayan talked about this, and I think it's really important. But for Islamic private universities, this is quite difficult because of the resources that we have and the people that are our benefactors. I mean, not as we don't have Jeffrey Chia for that matter. Okay, next. So the next one is you must have, as a private university, the 5-yearly strategic plan that will clearly specify targets development in all areas: university expansion, student target, marketing, etc. Next, next one. Then you must have a way of actually measuring your success or your failure. And I use the balance scorecard. Next. So as a conclusion, I thought the first thing about the moving forward is quality is paramount to ensure sustainability of the university. People must be assured of the quality of the programs. Okay, next. Then the support of Wakaf is very important because it is actually one of the very important aspects of the sustainability of university. First, like for example, to reduce the amount of fees that the student has to pay. I think MEDIU or Al-Madinah University actually charge one of the smallest fees among private universities, and because of this support by the Wakaf. Next, okay, strategic alliance. I tried during my time to have strategic alliance with various, at least the Islamic NGOs and also the Islamic organization like Batul Mal and the others. So I think this is very important for us to have in order that the programs can be sustainable. Next, then of course the last one, but not the least important, but the most important one is the government support is critical, because I think this question of education, the democratic education in the sense that trying to get everybody to get education. And I remember that some of my students, they were actually security guards guarding the mosque in Putrajaya and some other places, and they were doing a master's program with us while they are doing their studies. I think this is very important because the government support there will give the opportunity for everybody to go and have better education of their life. So thank you very much, Prof. FAUZAN and the others for listening. I'll be prepared to answer questions, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Prof. ISMAWI, on the dot 9:30, so 30 minutes, very sharp. Brother Luqman, can you stop sharing? We will have question and answers after the second panel. And now I would like to invite Prof. Dato' MANSOR. Before I invite him, I would like to introduce him, Professor Dr. MANSOR FADZIL. I know him very well since I think year 2000. I was director for Center for Excel, Center for Excellence and Continuing Education e-learning for IIUM. So we together established the online learning in the that time we call MEDIU, yani Multimedia Technology Enhancement Operation Sdn Bhd, because the online word is not really popular. So the popular word during that time is multimedia. And currently, Prof. Dr. MANSOR serves as the President and Vice-Chancellor of OUM, which is the first online distance learning ODL institution in the country. OUM was established year 2000 as a private university under a holding company, Multimedia Technology Operations Sdn Bhd, MEDIU, which is a consortium of 11 public universities, and he also Group Chief Executive Officer of this holding company. And the details in the profiles of this program, you can read the details later on. Without further ado, I would like to invite Prof. Dato' MANSOR. Tafadhal. You have 30 minutes.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say a big thank you to Prof. Emeritus Dr. Jamil for inviting me, and also Prof. FAUZAN as the Director of IIIT for East and Southeast Asia. Right? So my presentation will be slightly different compared to the previous presentation. My presentation is all on hands-on, how you make it effective, how you make e-learning what we call effective for the learners and so on. First of all, a bit of story. Basically, OUM is we are successful because of the way online learning has been poured and so on. And since the second year, we have been paying dividend to our staff. They have got the increment, and we have got student number from 1,000 to about 30,000 now, and all the shareholders, which are the 11 public universities, the first 11, all have been paid. The government shareholder also indirectly have been paid through the income tax. So all are in this venture are happy, and they are reasonably well off to start with. Okay, next, my presentation is on how OUM culture provided in terms of teaching and learning, digital culture. So basically nowadays we want to move into online. One of the things is that we must have an efficient and reliable system to support the fully online learning. This one, we assign knowledgeable and experienced staff to manage the online learning, and we engage an attractive and experienced e-tutors to replicate the face-to-face tutor, and we upload and help get contact wider range of learning material and resources for the learners. Actually, this one is an important one, basically for their e-learning reference. Basically, we embed in the content, and then their reference will refer from there directly. They don't have to go into e-library, whatever it is. So all be done automatically. We have shifted from a blended mode to fully online about a year, 2 years ago. And then it's amazing what the human can do on the online learning app. So they have been able to cope with it. And of course, before we do fully online, we do what we call survey of our students. 95-96% of them have got computers and got internet at home. They can access. If they are not at home, we want, kalau boleh, they have access at the workplace or some place somewhere. So as far as learning management system is concerned, we use the LMS, which is a model-based e-learning platform, which is very good, because if we want to develop ourselves, we started with in that way, but we just can't do it. After a while, we just forget about it. So this model-based e-learning platform is level 3, available to all students, and there are more than 1,000 universities worldwide there which are using this one. So we need a good learning management system for us to make it available. And the fees that we charge to our student is very little, maybe 40 ringgit, 50 ringgit as a credit, that's all. For undergraduate, postgraduate maybe 100. So we have reduced the fees and so on. And then we have this thing called question bank. It is important for you to have a learning management system, and then it is also important for you to have question to assess the student. Otherwise, the student will not go into the learning management system. You have to have access to assessment built in together with the learning management system. We want the student to have everything online. So basically the material online, the reference material also online, and the assessment is also online. We want our students to have the flexibility 100% online. Okay, and then we have these games in our LMS, and we can build in games to make it a bit more exciting when learning. What have we done to support the fully online learning? Basically, online learning requires data center, requires good infrastructure to be in place, but most of our data center is outside the university. We place at a particular center called AIMS in downtown. Even when we shifted from Kelana Jaya earlier center to this current center, we don't have to do anything. We just need to have connection to the internet, that's all. So, and for this purpose, we purchased new servers. OUM is currently hosting at AIMS. We have purchased 6 servers which are capable of 120 machines, whatever it is. And basically, it's difficult for you to have a center to cut your office unless you have got a really powerful people taking care of everything, but we choose one outside. And for the academics, we give them the latest software to get access and so on, right? And to support online learning, it is important that we have this thing. Basically, we do our marketing. I like the fact that the first presenter has highlighted the importance of marketing. But what part of marketing is through our website and through MyInspire. We improve the feedback and look of both website and MyInspire in order to get a fresh look, increase the hit, and improve the navigation. New features of MyInspire to support fully online learning program. MyInspire is linked to OUM email system. We are the first in the country to use Gmail. So on. MyInspire forum in MyInspire is linked to OUM email site. eConnect use Telegram for efficient real-time communication. eClassroom is the form of video conferencing mode. Artificial intelligence is the form of predictive analysis embedded in MyInspire to effectively identify high-risk learners. And for each learners, they are given the MyInspire access to MyInspire as well as e-lesson. E-lesson tell them what going on every week of the month until the exam section. So we have a section of MyInspire here. So we to fact this one, right? To eliminate the print and go digital. Basically, I have to go to INSEAD for further studies, 1 month of studies, and I noticed that over there, one of the first thing they give is your notebook. They give it for free, but of course we have to pay for it, a lot of money. And since I came back from INSEAD in 2016, I have implemented the digital. So the problem with the print module is that we don't know which one is the current one. And basically, when it is in digital form, the one that is in digital form is the current one. So a total of 2,449 modules and 300 study guides for textbook have been made available through my e-learning, MyInspire. OUM learners are getting younger and technical savvy. Basically, we have increased the percentage of internet users in Malaysia from 76% to 87%, while 93% have access to internet via smartphone. So that's very good. More than 4 million in saving annually by eliminating printing, logistics, and storage. Basically, for printing, we spend a lot of money each semester, and you go anywhere in the country, you come across a student which has not got their module language. So all online, easier. So that saves a lot of money. In fact, our estimation there, right, about 40 staff doing nothing but printing, and we have 4 machines, and we ran a place in to get this one up, but we eliminate all that. And there is an immediate correction for errors and content update of the e-module. So if you have any correction, whatever it is done by the authority, and whatever is there is the correct one. E-module, we have to update every 3 years or so to make it current and relevant. It is interactive, engaging, and the student, as far as the student is concerned, they can go and watch it live or watch the corrected, what we call e-content, the shift. And basically, we need to update and make it relevant. If you ask me, most of the universities going through e-learning, but what is it that distinguishes between the current university, the new university, and the old one? And kalau boleh, if the content of the module, you make it available there, and the assessment you build inside there, and the library, the reference material also you build into the learning management system, then the whole thing will come out nicely. So all resources, basically digital, whatever it is, we have to be digital. Arrangement of learning resources is accessible anywhere, anytime. Basically, whatever resources be digital, it's available. And then basically our board of governors, board of directors, and so on, we want to put the minutes of the meeting in, they can access it soon. So basically we have engaged in 30 online databases comprising ebook, e-journal, e-thesis, and more than 1,900 ebooks and 55,000 e-journal and 1.3 million e-thesis. One local act database covering all courses offered by OEM. Basically, when you have got the online material, whatever it is good to have that one, but whether the student go in or not, student see it or not. So basically, you have to have the MCQ, essays, and take-home assignment built in dalam MyInspire, dalam software LMS, so that the student has got a reason to go in. So they must have multiple choice question, essay question, assessment question, basically for them to do either at leisure or at home lah. So online assessment is important to build in together with the content. And then nowadays, the only thing that is hindering us from going further is our associate professors and professors in a relevant field. Basically, most of them are from the public universities, private universities, but basically most of them have got very little knowledge with regard to online learning. We want to encourage our academics to conduct research and institutional and academic research in e-learning, publish research papers in reputable journal. This is important because most of our tutors and so on are PhD holders, and we want them to, academic also PhD holders, and we want them to conduct research. So on. Key success factors to adapt fully online learning. Number one, we have to train the academics and we have to train the learners so that they blend well. Inclusive instructional design, designing interactive learning environment that provide personal support for every learners. Embed e-learning to create engaging learning material. Orientation for learners to online learning. Training for staff. Basically, you need to train the tutor, the student, the managers, and so on. We need to train them to be well equipped with the knowledge, and they can do the job well. Basically, we had to increase the accreditation. All programs offered by IIUM are accordingly have MQA code of practice for program accreditation, open distance learning, and then we must provide this one at affordable fees. Better for us to make the group, the whole country senang cerita. We also need to improve monitoring and control performance, KPI, internal auditors or digital workplace. Basically, we need to improve. But one thing very important, to be successful, we must have e-learning platform, we must have e-assessment, we must have reference material embedded in the learning management system, and also for the staff, we must have a different KPI to monitor, to engage them whatever it is, so that they do the online tracking efficiently. But the whole thing is, it must be affordable to the student. Exam on demand, basically, nowadays we have got question bank for every subject that's offered at degree, undergraduate levels. and soon we'll have every subject at postgrad level as well. But the exam on demand is as and when the student is ready, you can have the exam. Okay. The student can request to sit for exam, MCQ exam start anywhere, provided it's greater flexibility and awareness. A set of a question paper is generated randomly and question bank is published, but the same level. The exam result can be generated upon completion of the exam. So basically nowadays people want fast. The exam they want fast, the result they want fast. Somehow or other we have to find ways to meet the demand. As far as the exam is concerned, maybe we can have certain exam online or face-to-face only, and then certain exam we have it face-to-face. So at the moment we have 30 learning centers which are fully paid for by OUM, and another 5-6 renting places. But we hope that over the years, more and more Malaysian will enroll in our program, and together with the course, the learning centers and so on, make it easy and flexible for students to enter into OUM. So over the years, we want the program to be fully accredited, and then we want the student to learn anywhere, anytime, except within Malaysia. And post-COVID initiative, all programs are now fully online. We started offering 2 fully online programs in May 2009. It was increased to 7 programs. With the moment MCO imposed by the government of Malaysia to cope COVID-19, all programs have been switched to fully online and immediately. What rich for learners with geographical barriers such as rural areas, all exams are conducted online. So basically, as a university, you want to worry about the curriculum, whatever it is, but the delivery part you do put online. It's not that easy. And so far, so good, but we are hoping that some people can give comment, remarks on how do we get better and better as we go along. And it takes me a long time to get this parliament in place, right? I must say thank you to Prof. Jamil, Dr. Wira Jamil, Osman, advisor of IIIT, and Prof. FAUZAN for inviting me to present this one. I look forward to hearing more discussion from you, and thank you all for listening to my presentation.
Thank you very much, Professor Dato MANSOR FADZIL. You have extra 8 minutes. Now you can ask question. You can raise your hand, or you can write on the chat. So maybe by waiting for the audience, the participants, alhamdulillah, we have 309 participants around the world. The participants, I have to acknowledge, they are Professor Dr. Muhammad Ali Hassan, the Vice President Angkasa, also joining us. Maybe we can do a co-op with Angkasa, corporations beside Wakaf to do these private universities. And okay, thank you. This I have a question from Muhammad Nur Roshim Maksum. Okay, there are many questions now, so I have to start with Dr. Akram Zaki. Salam, if there is new open university you want to start, which country do you recommend for it to launch from? Maybe from ISMAWI or from MANSOR, 1 minute.
My recommendation is, doesn't matter, any country, as long as you have the manpower to manage the university, is okay.
Okay, from ISMAWI. Where? You unmute, please. Can you unmute?
Oh, okay. Yes, okay.
Which country they should start launch open university or online learning? Which country? Which country we should?
Which country?
Yeah. Any suggestion?
Oh, I think it can start anyway.
Anyway, okay.
It can start anyway.
Okay, thank you. There's another question from Muhammad Nur Rashim, I think from Indonesia. I have, how to conduct an assessment of the effective and psychomotor domains well through online learning? Okay, this one question I think to Prof. Mansor. And then I think Prof. ISMAWI, what are the challenges in online universities? Then to Prof. Mansor, the LMS, Learning Management System, do you purchase the ready system, Blackboard, Canvas, or do you have built-in? If purchase, which LMS do you recommend? If you build in-house, how long did it take it to build it? And what is your opinion about having generic platform of LMS for Islamic university so we can have shared resources and shared infrastructure so it can ease other new universities who are in new establishment phase to move quickly with online learning infrastructure? It's a long one from Mansor. Okay, question to Prof. ISMAWI. How fees, this one actually, both how fees in OUM can be reduced as fees stated in website still expensive. This is from Bakhtiar too. And Prof. ISMAWI, is there real-time online feedback mechanism like online quiz during tutorial, e-tutorial? Maybe from Mansor also can answer. Okay, from Mansor, how to ensure online exam, the credibility of online exam and assessment? Nalina Poganavan, how can we ensure again the integrity of student online assessment? Then do Hana Ambraskan, do your educator in OUM all been trained to conduct online teaching, including online tests, exam, and activities? Then do you have online seminar, online interactive learning strategies? This from Dr. Naima from Philippines. I think Prof. ISMAWI can answer this. Abdul Hafid from Indonesia, how to control the exam online class? This for the Muhammad Isham bin Hamzah. Can we know how the overall cost estimation to prepare the online learning infrastructure, included the equipment and the hardware and software? Prof. Mansor. From Mansor again, popular Prof. Mansor. Please provide the detail. This from India, NMK Kadir Ali. But what is the detail you want? I think the best to answer this, you visit their website. They have a lot of detail. Then you can contact the, Kriya Lampute. What is your evaluation, the outcome of university before and after COVID-19 outbreak? This maybe Prof. ISMAWI can also answer. Can the open university be applied in professional studies such as medicine and engineering? I think from Mansor, he's a engineers faculty before. And Prof. Sohaimi, this maybe Prof. ISMAWI can answer, his good friend. How to ensure humanity in online? I think this is a first round. I think if you cannot remember the question, you can go to chat room to read. I think the difficult question go to Prof. Mansor. I think he has to answer first. Then Prof. ISMAWI, Prof. Mansor.
Okay. Allow me to respond to some of the questions. Number one, with regard to the assessment. The assessment is given one question at a time. There is a time limit on each particular assessment, and it's a multiple choice question assessment. And for the take-home exam, whatever, it is the same as before. And with regard to the engineering, medicine, whatever that can be done online, it's all limited by your thinking. If we remove all the thinking, all the process can be done online, but basically online together with what we call face-to-face will be more effective for the user. But basically almost everything can be done online, but if you have online plus face-to-face, it will be much better for the patient. And then basically, we don't have any city problem, whatever. There is no power problem in Malaysia. And basically, one of the things that I would like to emphasize is the language of instruction. It's important. Number one, we have decided at the beginning that it should be English. And as far as the Bahasa Malaysia is concerned, they can use the Bahasa in answering the exam question, either English or Bahasa. So in other words, we what we call put very high level of English, but we also want to make sure that the Malay language is respected, is well taken care of. Anyway, I think I have answered most of the question proposed to me.
I think there's a question about power problems from Brother Nasir and Zaria from Nigeria be answered. I think Prof. Dr. Mansoor, you forget to answer about LMS. Can we be shared? Do you in-house? Do you buy a blackboard?
Okay.
Or do you have, I think you mentioned about Moodle, the open source.
As far as LMS is concerned, it is better to subscribe openly, which is open source, free of charge and so on, right? Because when you want to do research, whatever it is, there are so many universities which you same with the same SMS. If you have got this blackboard or whatever it is, chargeable, but very expensive. They can charge $5 per student per semester per year, whatever it is, become very costly. And the other thing is that LMS, you need to have 1 or 2 database administrator, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Mansoor. I still remember I was Dean of ICT for MEDIU, Medina International Islamic University. We developed the system. That time is 1 million. That was 2008. It's 1 million already. But we in-house developed less than a year by our solution architect and the team. It cost us only 200,000. Of course, we're using the Moodle platform. Well, I will pass to Prof. ISMAWI. The answers before that. Idris, you want to ask the cost IT infrastructure as is expensive as cost of staff. This is IUKL. Infrastructure is expensive. This, I think, is opinion. Prof. ISMAWI, can you answer some of the question?
Well, I think many of the questions are quite detailed, but basically, I think the idea is the challenges that one has when we are having this online program. I think that like any other things, we do have challenges when you have this online program, and especially but now I think the challenges are especially the perception part of it is very much what you call taken care, because now everybody has to communicate through this online things and distant things. I think it's very important. I mean, one advantage of the situation we are having now. But other than that, I think it's a question of making sure the biggest challenge is making sure how the standard is being kept. I mean, any program that is offered online must make sure that the standards of the program is intact. Meaning that there would not be any abuse of the system in order to make sure, I mean, for people who are not actually working hard enough to get the type of education that is being offered. So I think the system that online must have in place this monitoring devices and whatever that will ensure that at least the basic requirement of the programs are being taken care of. Other than that, I think it's the question of addressing the type of what I would call diversity that we have within the students' population of the online program. You have many people who come from various type of background, various type of level, and all sorts of things. And at the end of the day, how do you actually moderate the situation in such a way that you actually get to impart on them the target of the program. I think this is very important. Other than that, I think Prof. FAUZAN very detailed questions. I think we can answer through the chat. What do you call it? Connection and so on.
Okay, Prof. ISMAWI, I think one question I think you should answer: how to embed the humanity in online by Prof. Sohaimi. Embedded, how to inculcate the humanity is online. How to do that?
Okay. This is a very hard question actually. To me, it's a question of this is very much related to the experience that I had in MEDIU, because I think you see, online program is supposed to be a program, or at least an approach where you can reach everybody. Everybody doesn't care whether that person is a very rich guy or very poor guy or whatever. And you have to develop a program, an approach whereby the cheapest way of imparting the knowledge to the people, and you can actually impart the knowledge to the herdsmen in Africa, for example. I think this is very important. So this is where the question of humanity starts coming in. And other than that, of course, the question of payment. You see, this is one of the biggest issues that are affecting private universities. We have to derive income from our activities in order for us to be sustainable. But at the same time, we know that also there are people who are actually in need of knowledge. We need to open up a society, but they don't have the resources to be able to do that. So what the university can do is actually to find sponsors in inverted comma for them to actually be on the online program or whatever program that are being offered. When I was in MEDIU or Al-Madinah Internet University, what I did was actually to try to get some rich guys to actually provide or cover at least a large part of the fees for the students that are coming from marginalized societies. And in that sense, you'll be able to bring education in the names of humanity. I hope that I'm addressing the question to the people. I think this is very important because it's just not possible for some of them to be able to actually get or to pay the fees, even though you have brought it really to a very low level. That's what we did in MEDIU, and still we have this situation where some students are not able to pay, and in fact you'd be surprised that at least 50% of the students are unable to actually come up with the fees on time. So the idea of humanity in education, I think, is very important in the way that the Wakaf aspect of the strategic partners in terms of the Wakaf group can help in terms of getting this to the students. I don't know whether I'm addressing this question or not.
Yeah, thank you very much. And these the answers, and one of our participants add on the issues on integrity and credibility. The UTM ZEIN says there are CHEGG and few other systems in public domain to help to provide answers to many questions. Then the answers, so Nalina Ponggavanam, it said, yes, we face same issues with this CHEGG. When we limit the time duration, student post the time duration to asking for the expert to answer at the time of this duration. So this is so they ask the expert to answer on their behalf. Okay, then I think from MANSOR, the question from Dr. Maulana, any affiliated or franchise to outside Malaysian countries for OUM? I think you can answer this. Then how do you protect system from hackers? Sheila Ainun. Very informative. I'm very impressed at the standard of attained OUM. Is this university open for West Africa? You have a new customer. I don't know if university has planned to consider West Africa. Then some platform provide free teaching and you only pay the exam certification. Then how can we maintain human connectivity? Supposedly technology is to unite people, but the growing usage of technology have brought human connectivity further and becoming so robotic culture. How can we bring back the balance? Marlina Wong. Okay. I guess this maybe Prof. Mansor to answer and Prof. Ismawi. I pass to Prof. Mansor first.
Okay. Some of the question I will answer. Basically, the training part is important. You train the tutors to be friendly, to be human as much as possible when conducting their lecture, and that's how you bring in the human values into the system. And basically, it's best for you to park outside the university so that whatever happened in the university, you have a professional, dedicated person to manage your data center. And like we want as much research to be conducted and so on. But basically, if we can embed the books or whatever, textbook, whatever it is, inside the learning material themselves, then it will be much easier for us to have the reference from the outside to be embedded into the learning material. And basically, we are exploring, we want to go outside the world, but how do we do it? That's the thing. Basically, at the moment, we have learning centers in Vietnam, in Maldives, West Africa, whatever it is. But maybe we have to make them accessible. They can register with us, and basically online learning, the material and the assessment are conducted outside the center. That will be easier. So we are exploring, and for those who are from West Africa, whatever it is, our fees is reasonable, and we want people to connect with it as soon as possible. And that's the way to go. That's the way the world wants it, and that's the way it should be. Okay, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Mansor. Prof. Ismawi, maybe the last question from Marina Wong. How can we maintain human creativity? Supposedly technology is to unite people, but the growing use of technology...
Again for Professor FAUZAN.
Okay, in the chat room, how we can balance up between technology and also the human to unite. Technology is supposed to unite people, but the growing usage of technology have brought human creativity further and becoming so robotic culture. How can we bring back the balance?
Okay, men are born to be creative. Okay, that's the first thing. You see, especially when you are actually having some problem. I mean, personally, I feel that when people are having problem, they will try to find ways of how to overcome them. And online learning is one of the ways to do that. But it doesn't kill creativity. I think there are a lot of people who are actually benefiting from this online program in enhancing their creativity and also in terms of enhancing their innovation. And we have seen this happening because we can see that among our students, especially the students that has gone through the MEDIU program, they actually expand what they actually got from the program. And I'm honestly, I'm very happy with that, because I think the students do actually do that. And another thing that I think the program must teach the student must also have some area of innovation, area of creativity, and at the same time entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a very important aspect of the program, and I think we need to actually induce into the program this element, so that you actually encourage at the end of the day creativity on how to use the thing that they are doing. Okay, so I don't think online program is to sum it up. I don't think online program will kill innovation, creativity.
Thank you, Prof. Ismawi. I may add a bit that we are I always put the ICT as we have the hardware, the machine, then the hardware cannot run without the software, but who develop and use the hardware and software is the peopleware, and most important thing in the peopleware is the heartware, Holbun Salim, in our heart, and we should be a leader. The peopleware should be a leader. Yani human being should be a leader we cannot be a makmum, or we cannot be a followers to the hardware and software. How to become leader? The hardware, the Qalbun Salim. So we in IIUM, we try to do research. We embedded certain Islamic values like Futugul Ghaib from Sheikh Qadir Jalani into our system, like Imam Ghazali, like we built the Sufis assessment is following to Minhajul Abidin. So we try to put the system because we cannot expect Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs and also Bill Gates to come up with their system with inclined to our Islamic values. So we have to put the Islamic values. Of course, like we said, is need innovation and need research, and I will present this afternoon to show how we can strategize things. Okay, if anybody want to ask question, we have still 15 minutes. Like you can raise your hand, I can unmute your, of course you have to start the video. We can see who's want to ask question. Maybe Brother Yusuf, you from Hong Kong, you want me to unmute to ask questions? No? Okay, thank you. And we have Prof. Dr. Wan Azizi, I think from, yes, from one of the private university, I think, yeah, Dr. Said Hussein, you raise your hand, but I don't see your, okay, yeah, please say something. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Said.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Where are you from, Professor Said?
I'm from Greenview Education Center, but actually from International Islamic University. Okay, my question is very simple.
Okay, go ahead. What is your
online, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, because you ran out of time.
Yeah, my question is that when you are comparing between the physical classes and online classes, right? Online courses, right? What is the difference between the both of them? The payment. I mean, when we have online classes, is it we have to have the same payment that we are doing the what we call that the physical classes? That's one thing. And question number two, that what is the special challenges, right, that online courses that we are having at the moment with regards to the pandemic situations? Is it same, or there are special challenges? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Said. I will pass that question to Prof. Dr. Mansor, but Prof. ISMAWI, this is a question from Liz Fatima: how to transfer our Islamic values to student online system? You are the expert in the Islamization knowledge, Prof. ISMAWI. But Prof. Dr. Mansor first, the cost.
For me, right, as far as the fees is concerned, much better reduce fees and affordable to all the people in the world. And as far as Islamic values and so on, basically in teaching, we have to impart some values in the teaching. Okay, so make sure that purposely done and purposely delivered.
Okay, thank you. This on chat also the email from Franco at OUM EDU. They also from Abdul Samad Dokori is the website for MEDIU, Madinah International Islamic University, and you can apply online. And Prof. ISMAWI, how to embed Islamic values?
How to evaluate?
Islamic values, I think answered by from Mansor already. Then Dr. Maulana, I think you want to ask question? Go ahead.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. I want to ask Prof. Mansor. You have said that there is some of the remote the teaching center you set up in Vietnam. So the question which I previously asked is any affiliated or any franchise university, online university, that is possible, because I am from Myanmar. Myanmar, we need a lot of this type of the institution, because all our universities are closed in Myanmar because of the military rule and coup recently. You have heard about it. So I'm very serious about it. And now I'm very happy to know you also. I'm very carefully listening your lecture also. I'm very much interested. And please explain about it, how you set up in Vietnam and how could that possibly be in Myanmar?
Basically, we set up the university at foreign countries and neighboring countries and so on, based on the fact that they themselves are delivering the program, they are delivering the same thing. They are a university, but not all are like that. 98% are like that, but there are 2% which come from private entity, which doesn't matter. As long as you are keen, we are keen, we can get the student, we can get the class going on. And basically, nowadays, the classroom is your place at home that you study, and anyone who want to study, we welcome them.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. ISMAWI. Prof. Dr. Mansor. These websites are by NOORDIN for OUM-EDU.my. Then from for MEDIU, www.mediu.edu.my. Madinah International Islamic University. So we have two kind of, one of Islamic universities. Actually, they try to follow the Al-Madinah with the Malaysians and curriculum, because it's covered, is monitored quality control by MQA. And I know very well because I the first dean of ICT in MEDIU. And then OUM also same thing, because also involved in the Center for Excellent Continuing Education and E-Learning, CSL, and with METEOR and OUM. But you have several representatives from other universities in online. Currently, we have 340 participants around the world. We have 9 minutes. Last 2 questions, please. Otherwise, I will ask the panel to wrap up. Okay, this is noordin.edu.my. Okay, this. Okay, if no questions, so I will like to invite Prof. Mansor to wrap up for 3 to 5 minutes. And what do you plan? What is for OUM? And is it possible, like we established METEOR previously, now we establish METEORI, yani METEOR Islamic ways. With all these, we have more than 800 participants. I think more than 34 countries. I think we can do big, and we have the Wakaf and the co-op institution can sponsor our initiative. I will invite Prof. Fadil for 3 minutes or 4 minutes.
First of all, we want to extend our tutors, get our tutors in, and then we want to reduce the online numbers, basically from 100 to 50, whatever it is. And we, if possible, we want as many people in Malaysia as well as outside Malaysia to register with us, because our program is in English and we really want to flatten the market. That's our next few years, our intention. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Mansor. I also have the chat from Nasr Abdul Rahman, I believe from Nusi Sultan Azlan Shah from Perak, Kuala Kangsar. You can visit their universities, www.usas.edu.my. So, okay. So this brother Cairo from Kuwait said, yes, we can cut costs, cut down the courses fees through the online courses. Then Suha said, we already start ODL, online distance learning. And then this brother Azra Abdul Majid from Kenya. Have you been able to work and give your service in Kenya? Oh, this Kenya, Myanmar, and we have good marketing strategy. From Mansor, you have to pay us today.
we have worked with Kenya, but maybe a small unit, but maybe later.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thing.
Yeah, Prof. ISMAWI, any concluding remark, 3 to 5 minutes?
Well, I think this online university programs, I think is an opportunity for us to reach everywhere. This I think an opportunity that we shouldn't miss, and I hope that all universities that are participating in this workshop today will see this opportunity but rather don't compete, work together. Yeah. I think working together is very important. Strategic alliance between the various universities from various regions of the world. I think that will bring that will take us closer to our target of actually educating this ummah, inshallah. Okay, I hope that is the spirit that we bring back from this workshop.
Thank you, Prof. ISMAWI. Prof. Mansor, I think there are only other one question from Mama Khadija. What is your advice towards online learning at levels such as pre-university, realizing that this level grooms students to be able to join college and university level?
My advice is, what doesn't matter what level it is okay. Let them familiar and let them further their studies through the online, because that's the way forward. That's the only way forward for us.
Thank you very much. I think we have 4 minutes to go. I think no harm to stop earlier. And thank you very much. I think we benefit a lot from the presentation from Prof. Mansor and FADZIL and Prof. ISMAWI. I want to conclude before I pass to Professor Dato' Jamil Osman that we have to work together, like Prof. ISMAWI said. And Quran already suggested to us, fastabiqul khairat. We have to compete, but we have to work together. How to compete and work together? Fastabiqul khairat. We compete for sake of Allah SWT in good manner, and helping each other. And this is one way to work together. We have the consortium. We have 2 days. Alhamdulillah, we get good response from all over the world. 341 participants. Sunday morning. Normally morning we go to do something else, but Alhamdulillah, this is very good start, and we can do work together. And today, please join me, my session. I will show you how the non-Muslim can work together. MIT, Cambridge, Harvard, California universities, University of Pennsylvania, they Coursera, they offer online courses, and through the website that 4 universities from Israel, but only 1 university from Muslim country, yani from Turkey. I don't know what's wrong with us, but the non-Muslim practice the Islamic values that is suggested by Quran. So look at ourselves. And by that, I will pass to Professor Emeritus Dr. Jamil Osman, the director of this program. Thank you. Tafadhal.
Thank you very much, Professor FAUZAN. Thank you very much, Professor Emeritus Dr. Ismail Zain and Professor Dr. Mansor FADZIL for enlightening us with the concept of the e-learning. I think the participants really